What's up? This is Smoking Joe Louie Lopez, and you're rocking with the Fighter's Voice on 1680 AM.
Richard Ortiz, your host of thefightersvoice.com. Every Saturday on radio 1680 AM. Voiceography at its finest. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Yeah, 1680 AM, the Fighter's Voice. Here in the studio, we got Fresno's own Joe Louie Lopez. How we doing, Joe?
Doing good today. Thanks for having me on, Rich.
Hey, not a problem, man. You know what? That was kind of flat. You know what? We need a different intro.
Scratch it.
We need a different intro than that.
Okay, try it. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at already 165 pounds from Fresno, California, the Smoke Show, Joe Louie Lopez.
Fresno's favorite son.
That's it.
Now that was on hit, my man. Yeah.
In a wrap. Hey, let's get right to it, man. How did you get the nickname Smoke Show?
It came from, but to start off, coming out the amateur, I was one of my good friends, Jared Vasor, named me Smoking Joe Lopez, just Smoking Joe Lopez, because in the amateurs,
right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, because I was pretty fast for a lot of the guys in the amateurs, and then from there, I say like my third, after my second fight, going into my third, everyone noticed like when my interests and everything, my music and my outfits I would wear, they're real flashy and everything. Like it's like a show when you come out, everyone gets pumped, you know. And Fresno would go nuts when I would come out, and so they kind of moved from smoking to Smoke Show, like it's a smoke show, you know, is what they turned it to.
You know what, I remember, I actually did your first professional fight,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember when you were getting ready to walk in, one of your coaches, he said, hey, call him Smoke Show. And I said, okay, I remember. And you know what, to this day, I don't remember if I announced you Smoke Show or not. But I remember, no, Smoke, that's what he said, you were correct, just Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, from day one, I mean, you had a crazy following. I'm thinking, who is this kid? Who is this guy? Just when you came in, and you weren't even the headliner, and it just erupted. It was a small venue, and yeah, I guess you would say that's when the Smoke Show was created. Do you remember looking back at your first fight? How did that make you feel coming out of the dressing room for the very first time?
I felt good. I remember I was nervous because a lot of people that I cared about, people that believed in me, that knew what I was doing as an amateur, and they knew where I was coming from. They knew what I was trying to build up to. They knew how serious I was about boxing. It kind of hit me, and it became surreal at that time when I was walking in for that first pro fight. And then I also knew that Rick Merigian was in the crowd, and he was there to kind of scout me, to try to get me onto a bigger fight. And so there was a little bit of pressure on me. But I remember it felt good though. Like that's when Smoke Show started to take over, because I started to feel like that's where I belong, like entertaining people. It's not just fighting, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I remember coming out, that's when, you know, I started smiling at people like, you know, this is going to be a good time. It's not just going to be, you know, we're going to come in here and swing at each other. You know, it's going to be entertainment.
So Rick Merigian was in the crowd for your first fight.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know. I was unaware of that. I guess it's better for me that I don't know who's in there.
Yeah, actually, what's funny with Rick is he was at either my first or second. He put together my first or second amateur fight, the one that was at the Rumble at the Park at over at Grizzly Stadium.
Yeah.
He had put that together. And I think that was either my first or my second one, and he put it together. And at that time, he put it together and kind of learned who I was at that time, like in the amateurs, seeing me fight and everything.
He's always had his hand in the mix.
Yeah.
Even from day one, just stepping and trying to turn $1 into $3 in less than 1 second. And that's good. You can't knock the man for that. More power to him. And he's writing the blueprint. And much success. Now, I got to ask you this. I like this one. I really dig this one. Where did the nickname $1 Million Mexican come from?
From my cousin, actually, Ronnie Ray, Baby Bash. He made it up. He's a rapper. He's a well-known rapper, entertainer. A long time ago, he used to call himself the $1 Million Mexican, and then he stopped saying that, like the $1 Million Mexican or $1 Million Mexi, and he stopped saying it. And I remembered it, like coming in, you know, as I started to think of more entertainment value and what was going to market me. I remembered that, like, you know I'm not like at $1 Million purses now, but you know, you put yourself where you want to be. And I thought to myself, I'm the $1 Million Mexican. When I get there, I'm gonna be the $1 Million. I'm gonna be the $1 Million Mexican before I was the $1 Million Mexican.
Exactly. You know, we got to get baby back. Baby back. Hey, it's been a long week, man. I've been thinking of some things I shouldn't be thinking about. That's what happens when you're with the Smoke Show, because he don't just come in the ring by himself. The show starts after the fight, but that's another tune. I won't go there with my man there. But no, we got to get Baby Bash in the studio sometime, man, and give the Fighter's Voice a holler. You know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Now, I got to ask you, just Why the sport of boxing? You know, I heard you were a great football player. I heard that you had your victory dances on the football field, that you were untouchable, hard to stop, and then something happened. Tell us about what happened and why the sport of boxing.
Well, I was at a house party when I was going to Fresno City College, and I was playing football at the time, and
I can see that mixing.
yeah. and there was
and
I already been hanging around with people I've been hanging around with from the hood, and so like we're kind of in that area, north side Fresno, and there was a drive-by, and I got hit. They were actually shooting someone next to me, and I actually got hit in the right behind the Achilles tendon with a 45. And it like blew a big a big hole in my ankle.
Yeah, I didn't even know that part about you, man. I mean, you're a success story too. That was damn near death.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say that?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not death, but it almost took my leg off. The dude next to me, the guy they're actually shooting, he was in a coma. He actually didn't die either, but he got shot up pretty good.
Man. But we're just happy that you're here. We're talking today, and you had angels watching over you. Now I want to ask you this. How was it like sparring with the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Andre Ward? Tell us about that experience. And why you? Why did he pick you? He can have anybody in the world he wants, but he picked you. Why?
That was like one of the greatest experiences of my life. I learned so much just watching Dre train before, like watching him warm up, sparring with him, and then training afterwards. How you keep training, and even on the days off, because when I was in his camp, I was there to stay, and so I'd watch him train like the day after sparring, and then I'd train but the experience is invaluable. I got to see how he conducted himself in the ring, outside the ring.
Professional.
Exactly, like a true professional, and how he took even when he was in the ring with me, other guys, it was like it was the last fight all the time. And I seen his demeanor change when he came into the gym. Like, we like when I first get into camp, like, hey, what's up? How's it going, Joe? How's training going? And after that, every day I would come in, he would barely say what's up to me, and I would think, like, Dre doesn't even like me, but it's his attitude going in. He's like, I'm going to hurt this dude. Mm-hmm. He's going to put it on me, because that's who he was, like, when he was training for Kovalev, that's what he was doing.
Himself.
Exactly. Yeah. And I seen that, and I brought that home when I would start getting in the ring with sparring partners. I would like, okay, I need to know, this is business right now. We're not friends. I wasn't his friend. I was there for a job. And as soon as we were done after sparring, he was cool. We were cool. We sit and talk. Me, him, like Amir Khan was there, Andre Berto. We'd be cool.
Yeah.
But before that, I saw how to conduct yourself as a professional, and he showed me a lot of that. And it's just not just that; it's his relationship with God.
Oh yeah.
I asked him a few times about that, and he's got a real. And I'm trying to get my relationship closer to God right now, and he's just looking at that is just looking at him. It's just an example of something that I want to be more so of any other fighter.
I think you're exactly where you need to be in your career. Nothing happened by accident. You're all in God's plan. So you're not going to wrestle with Jesus because you lose every time. Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to ask you this. I mean, what was it like sparring with a legend's son, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? How did that go? And how did that go about? I believe that happened at Garcia's academy, correct?
Yeah, Robert Garcia. So I've been to Rob's before. Around the time I got signed to Top Rank.
Did you go the one in Riverside or Oxnard?
The first one was Oxnard.
Okay.
And then when it was with Julio Jr., they had me go to Riverside and stay on the ranch there. The first one I went to was Oxnard, and I did a really good job with these guys there. And they actually had me. I went there to spar one day. Yeah. Me and Brian went down, and then they had me. I did such a good job there. They had
Brian, Coach B.
Yeah, Coach B. They had me. It was his birthday the other day. So happy birthday, Coach B.
Hey, happy birthday, Coach. If you're listening, happy birthday, Coach B.
And so they had me stay. When I went, they told Coach B, just leave him here. And I stayed the whole time and worked with their middleweights. And after that, I had a relationship. They invited me back again and again. And then so finally, when Chavez Jr. went into camp, he hired Garcia as his coach.
Yeah.
They remembered me, and they called Coach B up. And we're like, hey, send Joe down. We got Chavez here. He'll pay him to come down and send him down.
How
it was for a whole summer.
How did you feel when you got that phone call, when you got that news? How did you feel?
That was my first time. I was just like, man, not so much that I made it, but I know that I've elevated myself to a level where people knew where I was.
Yeah.
They knew where I was in the boxing world as a up and coming fighter. You know what I mean? And so that felt really good. It was really special going into that one.
You know what? Okay. What was your toughest fight? And do you remember your last street fight?
You know what's so funny is I don't remember my last street fight. I
Then
know
that's good.
You
Then
know,
that's a
street
good
fights
thing.
usually go like you're like you and your boys are fighting. You know,
Yeah,
it's not really a
exactly.
one-on-one. So I, you know,
Exactly.
me and my boys have gotten into it with people before, but that
I
was
thought
a
maybe
long
you'd
time
say,
ago.
actually, it was 2 days ago. It's, you know, me and my boy, he borrowed my socks and my Jordans without permission. That's usually what happens.
No.
You know?
And so my toughest fight to date, I mean, would have to be against toughest is the one against Kilo I just had. But before that, I'd say the most decorated person, the one I was most worried about going into was Liam Vaughn, Freddie Roach's guy. The
yeah,
dude
that was in the LA area, correct?
Yeah, LA. He was 9-1, I believe, and just going to that, knowing he's coached by Freddie Roach, you know, and he was pretty good. He just, you know, the it's hard to top when you've been through a fight like you've been through with Kilo. It's hard to top that. The greatest fight Fresno's ever seen, you know, and I call it that because that's what it is. We gave everything. We both gave everything we had. I fought with half an eye, you know.
I'm going to be honest with you. I still have that recorded, and those who haven't seen it, whenever they come to the house, they go, "Hey, check this out."
Mm-hmm.
And it was to appreciate it is to see it over and over again, but to see it live, it was just crazy. And we'll touch up on that right now. I want to ask you this: if you weren't a professional boxer, what would you be doing? If you weren't a professional fighter, what would Joe Louie Lopez be doing right now?
And football's off the table.
Hey, you deal with what you have in front of you right now. Right now.
I'm not sure exactly what I'd be doing boxing.
Okay.
Boxing, you know, I guess I'd be training people, strengthening like a strengthening issue coach like Charles Shrem. I'm really into that, and I do that now still part time. So I'd probably be doing that. I enjoy that a lot.
That's good. That seems to be right up your avenue. I even asked you an interview ago, a while back. I said, "Hey, man, have you ever thought about doing some acting?" I mean, because you seem very marketable. Every time you come into the ring, you're marketable. You do an interview, you're marketable. Ticket sales, you're marketable. You walk down the street, you're marketable. And I think that's personally, because I sit back and I watch a lot, where a lot of the negativity comes only from those that don't have what you have. Not only do they want your contract, they want your personality, and they want your following. I mean, 8-2, I'll take that all dang day. This is the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
You get off the canvas, you win, you lose. I mean, Muhammad Ali lost, Joe Frazier, all the greats lost. You know, even, well, I'll say it, yeah, I thought Oscar De La Hoya beat Mayweather, so I'm going to get a lot of phone calls about that. I will say that. And, yeah, so Castillo, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Real quick, because we're going to take a little break, and we elaborated on it again. When you walk in Salon Arena or the State Mart Center, how does it feel once your music drops and it's just boom and you're walking into that ring? Does it seem like an eternity, or you just soak it all up?
I soak it in. I try to make it last forever. Like when I come out, I try to wait a second till my actual music drops. I always have an intro, and the guys always trying to rush me out. And my crew that's with me, they always tell me, "Hold on, he ain't ready to go yet." So it's like 20 seconds, and then I try to savor it because that ring walk, it goes by really quick in your head. And I even learned to walk slower. I walk at my own pace. And so I try to walk a little bit slower, and it's exhilarating though, man. That builds me up getting into that ring because I can feel everyone cheering for me, and I can feel the cameras going off. And by the time I get to the ring, it just built me up. It's made me feel good, you know, because it is nerve wracking. Any fighter will tell you, and they're lying if they don't tell you that it's nerve wracking. Going, you're afraid.
That's our minute warning there. Keep going, Smoke Lopez.
You're afraid of the worst happening. Not so much as you think the worst can happen, but everybody's afraid that the worst is going to happen, you know. And so that builds me up. It builds my confidence going in. And so when I'm in the ring, I'm ready to go. I'm locked and loaded.
You know, we got your walkout on the last fight. It's on thefightersvoice.com because that music is just, dude. I need to get a copy of that.
Yeah,
I need to get a copy of that. I'm gonna play that when I get out of the shower and right when I'm walking into my wife's room. I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna milk it as much as I can.
Robe and stuff.
Exactly.
I have a guy that makes my custom music, David Morales. I give him a shout
David
out.
Morales, you know what? We want you a guest on 1680 AM, The Fighter's Voice, in collaboration with The Answer. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and come back with the Smoke Show.